Good morning, ladies and gents. I'm back with another Conquerors play video. This one's going to be just a bit of a discussion video, so just stick me on in the background and then you can listen to what is currently happening on the discourse. Before I get into it though, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit that like button, share this video around, and all that lovely fan-tastic stuff. So, on June the 4th, so in less than 2 months, we are all going to be transferring over to the booming side of things. If you are on My Games and you are playing through the My Games launcher, you should have a pop-up telling you to transfer all your stuff over to Conquerors, which is a subsidy of booming. Make sure you do all that before June the 4th to carry on playing. A few people are having a few issues and troubles with this, but just make sure you follow all the steps correctly and go through it, and it should work absolutely fine for you. I logged into a Gmail account and just linked it that way. I think that has now made me a Porous account. I believe you can make a Porous account without going through that way, but to be honest, if you've got a Gmail account, just sign up to that and you should be absolutely groovy. If you have a Steam account that you are currently playing Conquerors playthrough, then you should not have to do anything other than link it to a Porous account, and you can do that again before June the 4th. Make sure you do. So with our transfer over to the booming side of things, we have all transferred over to the Conquerors Blade Booming Discord. Now there has been quite a bit of heated discussion, is probably the most tactful way I can put it, over the last week or so, mainly concerning the leadership doctrines. So I'm going to give you my take on the leadership doctrines in this video because I have been misquoted quite a few times now, so I'm going to literally lay it out as my thoughts to the leadership doctrines. Now I know people do think other than me, which I'm more than kind of respectful of. If you think differently to me, that's absolutely fine, but I do have genuine reasons for the way I think. There's been a lot of heated discussion about this over the last week, with a lot of toxicity coming from the same old faces that have been banned previously, and I expect to be banned again, to be honest, because they are not the image of community that we want to have in this community at all, nor do they provide any value or kind of positive impact or any further discussion points to the discussions currently happening. So if you are one of those players and you don't want to get yourself banned again, listen up, stop being toxic, start being a normal person, and just discuss properly and as an adult what is going on. Because yes, we all have heated opinions sometimes about things, but it is the way that you portray yourself is really letting you down. So the leadership doctrines. The leadership doctrines are doctrines which have been on the Frontier server for quite some time. They have never actually existed on the My Games server side of things. Now, I have heard from the Frontier side of things mainly positive things. I have heard a few Frontier players saying they didn't want them, they don't want them, all the rest of it. But on an average, as a whole, I have heard mainly positive things about them, how they actually contribute to the game, make the game a little bit better, allow you to bring in a few kind of higher tier leadership units and things like this. So you've got a bit more variety in games and everything like that. And the balance of the leadership doctrines aren't too bad. Plus as well, the actual picking up of the doctrines seems to be quite kind of forgiving in terms of RNG and everything. So a lot of people are saying that they have managed to get quite a few of these fairly quickly, even brand new into the game, which is quite a good thing to see. My number one thing against the leadership doctrines at the minute, I would say I'm probably about 70% against them, so I'm not 100% against them. I could be swayed either way, but at the minute I would say I'm probably about 70% against them, mainly because of the new player experience. A lot of people keep saying and keep thinking that I've been moaning that you can bring 3 gold tier units in, all the rest of it. I literally don't care about that. The only thing I care about is increasing the player base, making the player base more welcoming to newcomers and everything, especially because we are now transferring into a same developer publisher kind of deal. We want more people to come back into the game, and being toxic and running people over with multiple gold units is not going to be quite as inviting or welcoming to the new player experience. Now, if the new player experience can be looked at and properly debated and thought about and all the rest of it, and if the RNG is just as good as people say it is, so people can actually pick up these leadership doctrines quite quickly, then I would be all for it. Personally, I think right now the best thing to do is probably just take the leadership doctrines out though, reduce everything down by 16%. I think that's the easiest, most fairest, most balanced way of doing it right now, because this will allow everybody to benefit, and not just the top tier players, not just the really lucky players that have managed to pull them, and not just the players that have multiple hundreds of thousands of treatises to turn into doctrines. Personally, I think take out the leadership doctrines, chuck a 16% leadership kind of debuff on all of the units, everybody benefits. That's really my kind of main argument point in terms of not wanting the leadership doctrines. I would want the leadership doctrines because I then can actually customize and have a much more versatile warband and bring in lots of different things. But actually a 16% kind of leadership kind of debuff on everything anyway, that's going to be just as useful and will allow all of us to actually experience that and actually balance the game and the meta of units out a little bit. Let me know your thoughts down below though. Let me know if you agree with me, let me know if you disagree with me. I respect both opinions, but like I've already said, please be tactful in how you are coming across, because if you are just outright negative and toxic, you are just going to get removed. That's it. I am more than happy to discuss this either way. I am more than happy to discuss this further on the Discord, but again, I'm going to push this out there because some people have already been picked up and noted down, and you know who you are, for your toxic and inappropriate behavior on the Discord already. So this is a bit of a warning to you, because if it carries on, I can see you not lasting much longer in this community, just like you did the other one. So I'm just gonna leave it there, but let me know your thoughts. Do you want leadership doctrines? Do you not want leadership doctrines? Have a good kind of solid argument for both ways though. But thank you very much for watching. As always, folks, please hit that like button, hit that sub button, all that lovely fan-dooby-tastic stuff, and I hope to catch you out on the battlefield.